Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Wrath of the Righteous with me, Bring It On. Let's explore the Assassin's Guild. Our assassins won't work for less. You'll hire a couple thugs in the lower city if your pockets are empty. So you have Tigers of Sin, Boulder. The brute stares at you sullenly, but his lips remain sealed. Blood Moon. What does this outsider want? Get rid of him, Boulder. Blood Moon only speaks to those she fancies, those who pay her, and those she was ordered to kill. I left my sword in the guard's neck, so I strangled him with the whip he used on the slaves. That's neatly done. Reminds me of that time Quasit guards confiscated all my shivs, and had to stab my target with a letter opener.
I'm gone. My skills are absolute.
Alright, let's go talk to Yozz. The demon standing before you clearly has a penchant for jewelry. His fingers are covered in rings, 3 gold chains encircle his neck, and 4 bejeweled earrings sparkle in each of his ears. However, such exquisite adornments are not enough to hide the fact that he is a hardened warrior and a ruthless killer. His face and hands are covered in long, badly healed scars, and he moves as gracefully as the most skilled swordsman. The demon's lips curl in a satisfied sneer as he greets you loudly. Look who's here. It's the arrogant Galarian who disposed of our poor Willidus. He catches your eye and frowns slightly, giving a pointed glance toward his bodyguards. You aren't about to do something really stupid and start a massacre here, right? Can we just talk? Who are you? The leader of this gang of assassins? The demon gives a dignified nod. Yes, and I'm proud of it. The abyss is full of butchers and monsters, so anyone who chooses to be an assassin among monsters and butchers commands a high level of respect. They live long enough to make a name for themselves, of course. My guild attracts assassins from many planes. No one hires us for simple things like murdering noisy neighbors or cutting the throat of a cheating merchant. As I'm sure you know, it's easier and cheaper to do that yourself, and there's no need to get assassins involved. No, if someone turns to an assassin, it means that the victim is a dangerous, cunning, and well-protected target. I've heard a lot about you, Yozz. You're the head of a highly reputable guild that operates on many planes besides the Abyss. Many of my colleagues would consider it an honor to work alongside you, unlike myself. Now toward the projection. This horn thing is one of yours, isn't it? Osala? Yes. This little demoness is one of my most useful servants. Besides, it's so very prestigious to have a daughter of Baphomet working under you. Yozz glances at the horned demon with a mix of condescension and possessiveness. She stares fixedly at the floor. Yes, master. I am your servant. For a fleeting moment, notice a shadow of angry displeasure across her face. A spark of fear flashes in Yozz's eyes, like a boy who realizes he's gone too far when testing the patience of his parents. Tell me the truth right now. Yozz raises his hands apologetically. Several rings glitter on his fingers. Fine, fine. I was the one who actually gave Greybor assignments. I need to light a little fire underneath this cauldron where so many minions of demon lords are being mixed together. I ordered him to murder those demons in Canabris. I put a hit out on Darazond, although that ugly idiot didn't bother me at all. But he was an ugly idiot indeed, and a vengeful one to boot. That's why I gave Greybor a dagger that was only supposed to wound the Baylor, and that is why using Willidus' name was important. It was the perfect hand of cards. Darazan survived after suffering a painful, humiliating wound by a mortal's hand. No offense, of course. Baylor couldn't simply let that go, and so he started a vendetta against Willidus, dragging other Deskarites into it. And that was my goal all along, because Willidus was my real target. A target that was very difficult to reach. Yozz seems to revel in his own cleverness. He smirks and smiles with smug satisfaction. The dwarf gives a grim chuckle, and whispered loudly enough to be heard. People like you are why us assassins have such a lousy reputation. No respect for agreements. You acted dishonorably. You expect an assassin to be honorable. What touching naivety. The demon sneers derisively and toys with the giant diamond ring. Catching Greybor's disapproving stare, he gives a dazzling smile, seemingly pleased to have provoked a reaction. What concerns me is not the contract killing itself, but the fact that I haven't yet been paid a single coin. You're the head of the Assassin's Guild. Why didn't you send your underlings after Willidus? Yozz grimaces slightly, replies with visible displeasure. Who says I didn't? I lost a number of capable killers. He collects himself quickly, and the arrogant smile returns to his face. And yet, as you can see, I found a more elegant and economical way to execute this plan. I won't lie to you. This kind of plotting makes me very proud of my own guile. My assistants made sure that every larva in this city knew about the bounty on Willidus' head. I knew that Greybor returned to Lucianira and decided to use him, once more. Just like poor Darazan, he had no idea he was merely a pawn of mine. Just as I envisioned, you didn't linger and paid Willidus a visit. I had no doubt that Paranoiac, would try to kill anyone who crossed his doorstep, but I expected you to overcome him, and I was right. Greybor snorts derisively. I thought your guild had the best contractors. After hearing your story, they sound like amateurs to me. Why did you do all of this? For money and power, of course. This has been my primary motivation for many years now. Somebody wanted that old woodlouse dead, and clever Yozz has fulfilled their wish, with the expectation of being showered in privileges and treasures. You're getting a share of those privileges and treasures, by the way. I trust you're not going to refuse the reward provided for freelance operatives. Trust me, the sum is considerable. Yozz turns his attention to Greybor and adds, I haven't forgotten about you either. You'll be rewarded in proportion to your truly astonishing lethality. I don't need your blood money. Yozz makes a show of smoothing an invisible wrinkle in his luxurious robes. You'll never become truly rich if you keep refusing the money you're offered, Golarion. A bad decision. We earned that gold. As for you, Greybor, you've proven your competence. As a token of apology, allow me to offer you a membership of my Assassin's Guild. Consider it the recognition of your talents that you have long desired. I promise you prestige, respect, and truly staggering fees. Of course, I won't demand that you sever your current contract. You may claim your well-deserved place in our guild when it expires. So then, what do you say? I'll be welcoming you to the big league. Greybor turns to you with a very serious expression. His voice is reserved and formal. Donald, we're bound by an act of agreement, and therefore I must consult your opinion on this invitation. Are you truly prepared to throw in your lot with demons? With a heavy sigh, the dwarf looks you straight in the eye. Is there really much of a difference between me and them? They are the product of the worst parts of our mortal souls. They are sin incarnate. Many say the same thing about me. I was never a coward, so I'm able to admit that my soul is black and evil. I murder others for money, and I'll never become a respectable member of society, a friend, or a father. But I'm tired of asking for forgiveness for what I am. Here, I will not be judged for my profession. Greybor clenches his fist and mutters through his gritted teeth. I'm not the freaking monster they think me back on Golarion. How dare they hire me to murder their enemies, and then despise me for my profession? They'll treat me differently in the Abyss. The demons respect my skills. They'll treat me as a professional, not a criminal or a blackguard. Or blackguard in this case. I do change my pronunciation depending on context. It's strange to say this, but I don't feel out of place here. Have you thought about quitting the business? And become what? A farmer? A butler? Or maybe an innkeeper? One of those who tell tall tales about their adventurous youth to drunk patrons. My soul is that of a wanderer and a killer. My art is my only source of pride, and abandoning it will make me useless in my own eyes. Believe me, I already tried to settle down and find an honest job, and nothing good came of it. I'll quit my profession only when I'm judged by Pharasma herself. It's your decision to make. Greybor studies you for a moment, then nods respectfully. Such words make me respect you even more. Believe me, I appreciate your willingness to let this decision be entirely my own. So we've handled Greybor's quest, I think, mostly in our favor. The only mark against us is when I didn't take the gold from Yozz just now. Everything else should be on my side. And I don't know if I mentioned it before, but if you don't make Greybor happy, that will come to a head later in Act 5. The dwarf does not waste words as he looks at Yozz. Where do I sign? What are you talking about? We're not devils after all. Yozz laughs and claps his hands loudly. Splendid. You got a bright future here, my diminutive yet deadly friend. Yozz gives a bored yawn. There's no finality to his tone. Well, this was a very enlightening conversation, but I see no reason why we should continue. You've received your answers and should probably be on your way. Meanwhile, I should get back to plotting another bloody and violent murder. Have a good day. After a suspicious glance in Yozz's direction, Greybor turns to you. Indeed, this was an unexpected meeting. If you want to discuss what happened privately, I'm at your service, Commander. I don't have time for chatter. I must devise a way to kill a certain genie who's holed himself up in his flying palace. I've been promised a pile of treasures for his death. I don't think we have much to discuss. You fulfilled your task, and thus are no longer of interest to me. You can actually get Yozz into a fair bit of trouble on the Demon Mythic path. As you can come to Lucianira earlier in Act 3, and Yozz is there to babysit you while you're there, and you can keep picking fights. He's supposed to help you if you come under attack, but he doesn't actually help you. He just kind of stands there while you're getting your butt handed to you. But he gets a little exasperated that you're not taking his advice at every turn. Alright, we'll talk to Greybor, we'll rest up. Then we'll grab Lan. Perhaps I should thank you for your help. You assisted me in dealing with all of Yozz's schemes, even though you didn't need to do so. I am grateful for that. Can you explain to me just what kind of mess we've involved ourselves in? Greybor pauses for a moment, then slowly begins to explain. An anonymous client ordered Yozz, the head of the Assassin's Guild of Lucianira, to kill Willidus. He tried to take the target down several times, but Willidus turned out to be quite a tough nut to crack. Then Yozz gave me a new anonymous assignment. Kill Darazond and tell him that Willidus sent his best regards. However, Yozz gave me a weapon that could only wound Darazond, not kill him. He hoped to provoke Darazond and make him angry enough to go kill Willidus himself. Of course, you killed Darazond before he had a chance to do anything else. When Yozz found out that we were both in the Abyss, that I'd be eager to talk to Willidus, he started to give me hints as to where to find this fellow. We lived up to his expectations. Willidus died, and I'm sure you remember what happened next as well as I do. So we killed Willidus for no reason. The dwarf smirked cynically. Well, it depends on how you look at it. Was he to blame for the damage to my reputation? No. Was he an utterly disgusting creature whose face practically begged me to sink an axe into it? Did he try to kill us in his own manner? Again, we were trespassing. Were the creatures we encountered in said manner the most atrocious and perverted things I've ever met? The answer to all these questions is yes. I don't think anyone is going to cry themselves to sleep over his death, and neither should we. Your reputation has been restored. How do you feel? There's a spark of amusement in the dwarf's eyes. I feel at peace. Now people will think twice before attempting to ruin my good name. I'm grateful my companions didn't leave me to deal with this by myself, even though they had every right to do so. So I'm used to working alone. I appreciate a team I can trust. It's good to have someone who's got my back. Protecting one's honor is important. Greybor nods in agreement. Who would we be without a reputation? A bunch of opportunistic scoundrels who've been driven away from every door. A dishonorable life isn't worth a copper. But it's also dishonorable to abandon your child, so there's that. What do you think of your membership of the Assassin's Guild of Elutionira? Greybor hides a smug smile beneath his beard. I think this position rightfully belongs to me. This guild is not as infamous as the Red Mantis, the legendary fanatic assassins who perceive their victims as offerings to their god. I don't know how to say that. I don't know if it's a Kekek or a Chekek. Or the silent monks of Anaphexia, who guard some kind of secret knowledge, murder anyone who dares to touch it. But its name still means something to the discerning client. Elutionira is a crossroads between several different places, and Yozz's assassins work not only in the Abyss and on Golarion, but also in many other interesting places. The fact that I was accepted into the society is undeniable proof that of my professionalism. I'm grateful that you did not insist on the exclusivity of our contract, but allowed me to reap the benefits of my hard work. I think everything is clear now. You've been a good employer, Commander. I'm glad I made this contract with you. You've managed to restore your reputation and join the guild. What about our contract? You want to terminate it. The dwarf begins to count off his fingers one at a time. First, it would have been highly unprofessional to abandon you after you helped me. Second, the war is still in full swing. My departure would have been a source of gossip, which in turn would have damaged my reputation beyond repair. I don't want people to perceive me as a coward who fled from a good fight. Third, I've long since discovered that working for you is profitable in more ways than one. You're always trying to take down the most dangerous targets, and they make great additions to my trophy list. You said you only forget things that are not important, but sometimes the importance of some things is not apparent right away. Perhaps I do forget some important things from time to time, or perhaps I do not. I don't remember.
Follow if you dare. I'll take care of it.
Adayan, Aboran, Sentes. Unimosi Travisi, Adayan. Amranda Dratior, Adayan. Adayan. Magritium Turinos, Magritium Turinos. sentes. Inimosi travisi.
That was weird. I'm not sure why that spellcasting failed.
Inimosi travisi. Inimosi travisi. Inimosi travisi. Inimosi travisi. Ona adayana.
I will help where I can. Arayana. Inimosi travisi. Ona Arayana. Ona Arayana. Magnetium turinos. Inimosi travisi. Inimosi travisi. Inimosi travisi. Inimosi travisi.
Nicely.
Now, Eya, Orana. Now, Eya, Orana. Now, Eya, Ora. Now, Eya, Orana. Now, Eya, Orana. Now, Eya, Ora. Now, Eya, Orana. Now, Eya, Ora. Now, Eya, Orana.
Let me help.
Aporane sentes. Ona adayana. Ona adayana. Inimosi travisi. Aporane sentes. Aporane sentes. Aporane sentes. Aporane sentes. Amranda gratio. Aporane sentes. Ona adayana. Ona adayana.
So I actually don't remember what fight is coming up.
Ona adayana.
I've only done it
Ona adayana.
one or two other times. I missed it in my first playthrough.
Johnny
So I failed a couple of these checks, not knowing that they led to this.
Inimosi travisi. Ona adayana. Listano danyam. Inimosi travisi. Inimosi travisi. Amranda gratio. Inimosi travisi. Inimosi travisi. Inimosi travisi. Inimosi travisi. Patricio Turino. Inimosi travisi. Inimosi travisi. Ona adayana. Inimosi travisi.
Art to the hidden abode.
I'm always ready.
Okay, I do remember this fight now. The planet has reached its final phase. Our agents are everywhere. Our allies wait for the signal to attack. Soon, Elucidire will drown in the blood of demons. Our master will be pleased. We'll regain our former power and glory. Those pathetic self-proclaimed gods will fall. I sense uninvited guests. Surely a demon spy. Kill him. Servants, seize him. I didn't mean to skip that.
We won't fall here. I swear it.
What do you say? A couple of severed heads will ensure my survival under the new regime. I'm ready to kill anyone.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel. This is not how it works. Great team. I am your end!
The inheritor, guide my blade!
Survive me. Something over there.
This wound, my gift.
Cover me, all right?
I'm doing a mass heal because Sunshine is almost down.
Endure this.
Which isn't the end of the world, but that would make Lan a lot weaker.
Didn't know I had it in me.
No mercy for the wicked!
Make every strike count. You crossed the wrong mongrel.
Alright, get the Tome of Leadership and Influence. Headband of Subjugator.
Pretty good, aren't I? This is my kind of work. I'm here. Where else would I be? This is my kind of work.
Alright, Ode to Nauticula. The sturdy paper is covered in writing, though much of it has been fiercely crossed out. Among the redacted scribbles, the following lines remain legible. O Nauticula, my ruin, my lady in shadow. The first of the succubi, the patron of murderers, the sovereign of lust. Thou art black as a starless night, and beautiful as the heart of an Ahindrian crystal. Thy legend is demise-born, thy fame is death-forged. Whither thou goest, I'll tremble. Thy wrath slays without pause, thy caress is sweeter than blood of the righteous. None can compare to thee, in slaughter or desire. Some thou bringest down with a deadly strike, some with thy sweetest touch. May thou reign over thy servants Nauticula, until the end of time. May thou be the eternal whip raised over the lords of the abyss. I also got Head of the Subjugator, sorry, Headband of the Subjugator. Whenever the wearer of this Headband of Intelligence +6 lands a hit against a new enemy for the first time, the enemy must pass a Fortitude saving throw DC 30 or become dazzled for 3 rounds. If the enemy was under a movement impairing condition, it becomes blinded instead. There you go, buddy. Alright, some of Leadership and Influence. This ponderous book details suggestions for persuading and inspiring others, but entwined within the words is a powerful magical effect. If anyone reads this book, she permanently gains a +2 inherent bonus to her charisma score. Once the book is read, the magic disappears from the pages and it becomes a normal book. So we'll obviously use that on my paladin. So we haven't found a strength one yet. I know where that's at. That is later in this act. We have found the dexterity, we found the constitution, we found the intelligence. I haven't found the wisdom. Maybe it's the wisdom one I'm thinking of. I thought one of them was in a dungeon we explore in Act 5. I could be misremembering. Alright, got some cold iron and we got Namaris' burning brand. Jael Khan was an eccentric and capricious demon, indifferent to power and violence, but a great lover of riddles and puzzles. It was he who captured the mysterious collector that had been preying upon Alushanira's nobility. It was he who returned R. Miketh's stolen gold and carbuncle. but his most famous investigation is by far the case of the burning gladiators. One day, a bunch of slaves stepped onto the sand of the battle bliss arena unbidden. They were cloaked in flames but did not scream, silently carrying their bodies of their slain jailers on the tips of their spears. Having formed a column before the demons, awestruck at the sight, they spoke in a single voice. "I have been taken form, so now I take." A moment later, they vanished in a conflagration that incinerated most of the spectators, leaving only charred words on the ashen floor of the arena. For pain and fire. This incident was just the beginning. The killings in the arena continued, with gladiators seemingly losing their minds and attacking the guards, catching fire, and burning to ash alongside their tormentors. All that remained were the cryptic words, "For pain and fire." Shamira the Ardent Dream commanded Jail to solve the mystery of these unusual deaths. Jail took a cup of blood, on every wall of the arena wrote the following: "I have taken from you, I will take again." Having issued this challenge to the unknown killer, Jail waited, but not for long, because the bloody letters caught fire. Jail proclaimed he had solved the riddle, and would reveal the answer to everyone on the next day. The next moment, a dozen thralls turned into pillars of flame and surrounded Jail. In a single voice they asked, "You think you've exposed me, demon? What do you even know, you arrogant fiend?" "I know your name. You are Nemarius, a demigod born of the goddess Sekhmet. You and your wife-to-be were captured and forced to fight to the death in the arena. She fell. You set yourself on fire out of grief, but were never truly gone. Your spirit is bound to this object." Smiling, the Jail presented the brand used to mark the slaves as the arena's property. "I used my sorcerer's sight to watch you light up my words. I felt where the threads of your spells converge. This brand left its mark on your skin and the skin of your beloved bride. It was also used to mark the slaves whose minds you dominate, and use the instruments of your revenge. Or am I wrong?" The burning gladiators howled in Nemarius' voice, but it was too late. The Jail cast a spell on the brand that trapped the vengeful demigod, defeating and disempowering his foe. The tradition of using hot iron to mark the gladiators ceased, and the fate of Nemarius' brand remains unknown up to this very day.
I do what I must.
And another job well done. Alright, so we head towards the Mage's Tower, and we'll explore that next time.
I'm gone.
That's right up here. And I think that's it besides Nauticula's Palace over this way. But either way for now, I'm going to call it here. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one.